welcome to Tales from the Tips. DA, alongside 15-year Tour Caddy Mick Middlemo. We're just a couple guys that love to talk about the game of golf and drink beer, but we come at it from a completely different perspective. Mick,
So,
it's back.
what's back?
It's back.
What's back?
The skins game.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard something about that.
That's not the reaction I was hoping you were going to have.
Well, it'd be more exciting if they put up their own money.
Oh, well, now that's for real skins. I like
Back.
that. We'll get in. Let's hold that one. We'll talk about that. We do have to talk about Bentwater last week. Your streak is still intact, but we do also have some bigger things to cover.
None bigger than Bentwater last week.
None big. Whew. You know what? We'll get into it. I owe you that. Bobby Mack reigns supreme at the Dunhill.
Yes.
DP tour teeing it up at the in Spain in Madrid. Really cool prize to the winner. A little new twist that thanks to our friends in Augusta, Georgia. We'll talk about that. We have a first-time winner on the PGA Tour.
Stephen Fisk.
Mr. Stephen Fisk, and his caddy has a little bit of notoriety. He was Grayson Murray's caddy, and Grayson Murray Charity Classic this past weekend, or this past Monday. Yes, thoughts and prayers to his family. Great work, though, that they're doing for mental health. We will touch on that. The streak is still alive, and it's not your streak. The Women's LPGA Tour, 25 winners, non-consecutive.
I'm heading that way, though.
It is getting there. And then the Corn Ferry guys wrap it up. They've got the Tour Championship in French Lick, Indiana.
The home of Larry Bird.
The home of Larry Legend.
Even I know that.
So with all of that, buddy, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do
Let's
it.
grip it and rip it. Okie dokie. So where do you want to start?
Let's start at Bentwater.
You want to start with us. We've got DP World Tour. We've got a Ryder Cup winning guy, Scotsman, the first guy that has made it into the top 10 since Ian Woosnam and Colin Montgomery.
Not interested.
You don't want to talk about him.
Nope. I would rather have you talk to me about what happened at Bentwater last week when you came out all spruiking about how things were going to happen. You and Chris played, myself and James.
No, I told you, and I was very, very clear about this. This was a practice round.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I will say this. Chris, because of his generosity, invited our really good client and friend, James, from La Cima Restaurant Group from Twin Peaks.
Yep.
You two decided to team up. Mm-hmm. Chris and I were working on strategy, which clearly we've got to go back to the drawing board on.
Because you and Chris still have to play myself and Greg. So,
right.
Yes. And how'd that work out? What was the final score in that match play?
It resembled a few of the Ryder Cup scores.
Yeah, but what was the actual final? What did James and I win by?
6-5, I believe.
6-5. That's exactly what
it was. It was a beatdown. Now I will, as they say, I will give you your flowers if you want. You played fantastic. Your short game and around the greens was impeccable. Chris and I did talk about that. Strategy. We have to learn our strategies. You, sir, when you did miss, which wasn't very often, James was there to not only pick you up, or come right over the top of you and pull something in.
Well, that's what
you guys were a formidable opponent just in a practice round.
It wasn't a practice round. It was a tournament round that we played. We played each other. And that's exactly what it was.
I will say this. I'm going to say this because you have spoken very highly of the Bentwater Golf Club.
I do speak very highly of it. It's a very good golf
I
club.
will second that motion. That is the best course in the Ackworth area that I have played to date.
Oh, it's in phenomenal condition. It's a nice layout. It suits me because most holes are a little bit left to right, and I like my little fade.
You played that little fade.
I like that little
Baby
fade.
fade.
I like that little fade. And yes, anyway, so let's move on. Okay, so I guess there's nothing else to talk about then, really, since we.
Oh, that's it. That's all you want. You just want to humbly
I
brag
just
and then be
wanted to
done.
know that we won, and it was just I figured it wasn't.
It was. Listen, I am not going to take. You and I talked about this. I am not going to take away from anything and the game that you and James played. I played awful.
You started off well,
I did. I started off fine.
but your bad shots are bad shots. When they go left or right, they go left a long way.
Yeah, I don't have a baby fade. I have a double cross duck hook. That
a little
is. You know what though? I did think back through my round. I didn't block a shot right.
No, you hit some big hooks. Though you did hit some.
I got snappy a few times. Yeah. More out of frustration, not with the game, more with what was going on the phone, which I need to be a little bit better of ignoring.
Yes, I didn't talk to my boss one time that day.
You are your boss.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I did speak to him. Anyway, all right. So let's move on.
Technically, you could have been speaking to your boss the entire round.
I was, but let's move. Let's move on from the beatdown and let's move on to the next one.
All right. So all seriousness. By the way, lot of comments. We've got a lot of feedback, good and bad, and we accept all of it out there in the. On our feedback, but there were a couple really nice feedback, and one was a gentleman shot us a note and really enjoys when you and I have this little fun banter, but then bring it back to golf and strategy. And so, Mick, let's go there. You ready?
Okay. Strategy.
Carnoustie.
Yes.
Have you ever been there?
No, sir.
See, now we're right off the rails, right off the bat. Let's go to the Alfred Dunhill links. Obviously, Robert McIntyre wins out there. The old course at St. Andrews.
Now, I may have been there.
Yeah, I know you've been there, and that's why I wanted to kind of. What are some of the? I mean, they do such a great job of it, telling it on TV. What are some of the things from a caddy's perspective that you found when you were out there?
At St. Andrews?
Yeah.
Oh, it's something. It's magical. It's magical to be there. It's magical to walk around it. It's a very, very wonderful golf course that has stood the test of time, and you have to play it so smart. There are so many variables that come into play there when it's windy. I mean, it's a brutal of a golf course when it's windy. It's an amazing place to go if you've never been there. The town is fantastic. It's just there's so much to do there. Outside Augusta, which I've never caddied Augusta, but been there, it's probably the best place ever by far for a golfer.
It's on the, obviously we always talk bucket list stuff. I've had the fortunate opportunity to do a lot of fun things in the sports world. I would just love to go. Like, there's two places I've never stepped foot on: Augusta and St. Andrews. And I hope by the time before I'm out of here, I get that opportunity to do that.
Oh, there's no doubt. There is no doubt you will. I'm sure we can make things happen at some stage, but we'll make things happen.
It's those are just two of the most magical places, and I look back at some of the things that we did, and actually in all honesty and joking, I know we opened the show with talking about the upcoming Skins game, which for me it's not about the Skins game itself. It's about the memories I have as a kid growing up, watching it with my grandfather and my dad and my uncles, sitting around, whether through the holidays or whenever they had it on, and watching it together. And so to bring it back, on Black Friday, early in the morning. But I mean, they checked all the boxes.
I
One,
think
I'm
I
not
just
going to be out at the shopping malls.
I think it's a fun thing to do. I really do. I think it's amazing. I do. I remember the skins game as a kid growing up in Australia, watching the same thing and like, oh, this is worth so much money and so much money and so much money. But like I said to you at the start of the show, I think it would be funny if they put up 3 million of their own and then just and then 3 million each of their own and said, well, let's see how this rolls now, which they're never
Well,
going to do.
no,
But
they're not going to do that. But
and
the
most
other
of it's
part
a
of it,
charity thing anyway, so most of it goes to charity, and so I look, I think it's fun.
yeah, and then the one thing when I did a because we did have a comment to I need to do my research before I open my mouth. Okay, I'll leave that there because do more research than most people do.
You do, but I'm curious now. What happened there? Did someone comment?
Yeah, we had a nasty little comment, but that's okay. They're entitled to their opinion.
Tell me the comment. I haven't looked at it.
No, they literally said, do your research before you open your mouth. It was about the fan reaction stuff.
Whatever.
Yeah, we're not. And by the way, we're not even talking about that. That's done and dusted.
Yeah,
That's
move
out of
on.
here. By the way, did you know it started in 1983 and ran to 2008?
Really?
I did not realize the last winner of the Skins game, KJ Choi.
The tank.
The tank over Stephen Ames. Stephen Ames, by the way, had a heck of a run. 2006, 2007, and 2008. He literally cleared a lot of
Well, I'm going to tell you what. This is probably why the Skins game ended, because Stephen Ames was in it. You talk about a miserable, horrible human being.
I've heard that, and I'm not gonna repeat where I heard it at.
No, just
But
no.
yeah, which was really disappointing because I thought, like when we were fortunate to have Stuart Sink join us with the Mitsubishi Electric Classic back there in April, and I thought for sure we were going to get Stephen Ames because he was the defending champion, and instead, obviously Stuart is the brand ambassador and the ambassador for the tournament, so obviously I'll take that any day. And twice on Sunday because Stuart was amazing. Actually, love to have him back on after he gets through with the playoffs. He's I think 550 points chasing Angel Jimenez. So yes, you drink your Budweiser. Way to go! Way to hit that sponsor logo. Yeah. By the way, Grace says hi. I spoke to her today. So moving on past through the Skins game.
Let me tell you. Can I tell you one Stephen Ames story?
Yes, please.
Okay, I was caddying for Brendan de Jong at the Waste Management Phoenix Open there. Just a one-off. Actually, I caddied for him two weeks in a row. His caddy had issues, and I can't remember why I wasn't caddying, but anyway. But there was a rain delay and stuff like that, and all sorts of things. So we were on the second hole, and it was going to be our last hole of the day. And I'm caddying for Brendan, and we've got Stephen Ames in the group and Brian Davis. And Brian Davis is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And just as Stephen Ames is about to swing, a phone goes off in his backswing. And you talk about angry, like, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Turn your phone off, turn your phone off, turn your phone off, turn your phone off. Well, the unfortunate part about it was actually in his bag.
His bag.
It was his phone. So he was getting ready to absolutely murder somebody. Then I look down, I go, I think it's in your bag. And yeah, it was his phone. It was his phone that was actually ringing in his own backswing. So yeah, that was a nice little piece of karma there, and that was a little chuckle of Stephen Ames. Not a big Stephen Ames fan.
You have said that, and but you also have some reasons for it. So we don't need to get into all of them.
Oh no, we don't. That's all good.
The DP boys head down to Madrid, Spanish Open.
Yeah.
Really cool. Again, I feel slightly bad for Stephen Fisk First time winner last week at the Sanderson Farms. Usually the fall series winner gets an invitation to the Masters in Augusta the following April. That rule was changed this year. The Augusta National folks have taken it away from the fall series, but they rewarded it to the Spanish Open, the Australian Open, and several other national opens around the globe.
Thankfully.
And so one of the cool things is this tournament in Madrid literally is for a chance to play in Augusta.
Yes, and thankfully that somebody in a tour around the world decided to invite other players. It's an amazing decision. I love the decision, and I think it creates so much more enjoyment for people to watch the game of golf and go, well, this really means a lot now. Because now for some of these players who never thought they'd have the chance, because obviously if you're not in the top 50 in the world, and you now have a chance to actually get in there. And I think it's amazing. I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm really. Then I'm looking also at like the list of some of the top players. I mean, Shane Lowry, obviously
Shane Lowry's playing.
Yeah, Lowry's playing. Thomas Dietrich, your boy Patrick Reed, Marco Penge, who has been playing some really good golf. Tristan Lawrence, John Rahm is in the field. Joaquin Neiman. Go down the list a little bit, but like the young guys, some of the young live guys that we don't get to see that went straight from the States over to live, like David Puig, a Spanish born player playing some really good golf. He's going to be teeing it up over there.
Did you see the stats on the live tour this week?
I did not.
Of how much money they've spent and how much money they've got returned?
No.
So far, I think they're losing $431 million on their investment.
$400 million.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, okay.
I guess when you own oil fields, I mean, that's probably not a lot of money.
When your bank account starts with a B,
it might start with a T.
Yeah, probably.
Or a
Q. Listen, I don't wish anything bad on the folks on the live tour. I think we can probably agree the guys that started this venture out, and those two will remain nameless, did it because of spite for the PGA Tour, and still to this day, and I will be the first one to say, I think Phil Mickelson probably had a lot of very valid points. He just didn't have leadership inside the PGA Tour that wanted to listen to him. Also, Phil's also known for not taking the right tactic on presenting facts and bringing up ideas. So from that standpoint, probably going to say that's like for the guys that took the money, whether they were in the twilight of their career or they're starting out. You know what? I'm not going to blame them. I mean, if I was twilight of my business career now, and someone offered me 5x what I'm making right now to do the same exact thing that I'm doing, and oh, by the way, I don't have to work as many weeks, probably going to go take that opportunity. Now grass isn't always greener on the other side.
I just don't think the concept has worked as well as they would have thought it was going to be.
Right, and I don't think their leadership is willing to pivot off of what's not working, and that's the problem. I think they've got the players that could help drive it, because I truly believe and I think Brian Rolap at the PGA Tour is going to find this out. It isn't about slimming the fields down. Right now, in Japan, we've got a limited field with no cuts. Listen, as a golf fan, I don't want to see that. There's some great names over there.
There's some good names, but there's also like 15 invites from Japan too. So there's literally that field is like 35 players.
Yeah, and to me, that's a fall series event. So now you're telling me the guys that couldn't make that field event because of their world rankings, and they've done everything the way that they're supposed to based off of what the tour's guidance is. Now you're telling me, oh yeah, you can't go play over there. So, by the way, you're just going to stay home another week. And now you're down to 4 events left to try to get into the top 100 to have your card.
I think we had this discussion earlier in the year about how I thought about the fall series worked.
Well, I don't know if it's even about the fall series. It's the way the PGA Tour is going about it is, I think, what probably you and I need to probably dive into a little bit more at some point, especially maybe as it gets a little chillier out here and we don't have as much golf going on. I mean, right now we've got some great golf being played. I mean, you've got the Corn Ferry Tour up at French Lick, Indiana, right now.
Where Johnny Kiefer will probably win that.
Yeah, but I mean, look at that though.
What a player! What a year he's had. I mean, that kid can play.
These kids that are coming out, like, we don't need to be shrinking field sizes. We need to be giving them more opportunities to play and now highlighting these guys.
The thing about this has always happened from, like, even when I was out there caddying on the Corn Ferry Tour or the Nationwide Tour or whatever it was. If you finished 15th and you got your card, you're all excited. You're like, oh my God, I've got my card. And then the first event was Hawaii. Well, you never got into that. And then you would probably get into the next one, which was the Bob Hope. And then you would get into that. And then you may get into Torrey Pines because it was 2 courses. You get into Pebble Beach. And then after that, unless you played well, because then you had a reshuffle. You had the reshuffle of the order of where you were. And if the poor guy you got your tour card and you were number 25 on the money list, or it's number 20 now. If you were number 25, you got your PGA Tour card. You're like, oh my God, I got my PGA Tour card, but you couldn't get it. You wouldn't get into half of these events.
Yeah.
To start, and then you couldn't get reshuffled because you only played one event and missed a cut, and you were basically done.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah. So yeah, it didn't make. And now you've got, like you said, now you've got all these like select events and short fields. It's like.
Well, but I think one of the things that TGL has shown us, and some of these other marquee events are showing us, is fans want to engage with the players. They want to get to know the players more. You look at what social media is doing. Now, you and I are both on the same page. You've always been a Bryson DeChambeau fan. I literally have said on this podcast, I've done a 180 on him. Antics and all that aside, at the Ryder Cup, a little bit of a ding on his resume for me and for you. Whatever. I can put that past, because I truly believe Bryson's goal overall is to grow the game of golf, just like you and I. Our goal is for this podcast, and that was one of the other feedback. Like, what are you two? You guys are 2 nobodies. No, we're 2 guys that actually care about the game of golf, and we care about helping it grow and expanding it all across the globe, not just here in good old Georgia or wherever we're at. It is literally about growing the game of golf, and it starts.
Exactly. And the guy that calls me a nobody, it's fine. I may not be a nobody in the world of golf, but I've been around it for a long, long time, and I've been lucky enough to be on the inside of the ropes and caddied in majors and know some of the best players in the world, and still call them my friends. So I wouldn't say I'm a nobody. I'm not as maybe up there as some of the other people, but I still have my opinions, and I will keep voicing my opinions. So, Mr. I'm a nobody, congratulations.
Yeah. Well, he spelled it with a capital N, so we're at least somebody of a nobody.
And good. And I'll play you anytime you want.
There you go.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites.
Okay, Stephen Fisk.
Yep, good win.
Great win. Thoughts? Let me ask you this: did you have a chance to watch any of it?
I watched a little bit of it. I did. I actually watched a little bit of it tonight. But yeah, again, it's just one of those things. It's like the fall series. It's. I mean, how many people know who Stephen Fisk was before he won?
I mean, besides his family and the folks at Georgia Southern?
Yes. Not a lot. Not a lot.
No, but again, it goes back to my point about...
What are the ratings going to be when you're going against the NFL? You're going against MLB. You're going against anything. There's not a... It's just... And this is why I think golf is not doing any service right now. just when you play these events, because I mean, you could ask anybody, my local bar, and you've been there. I could ask anybody who won that event last week, and we're all golfers. No one's going to know. I could walk into Bentwater Golf Club and go, "Hey guys, does anyone know who won this? The Sanderson Farms last week?" And they'd all go, "No." Oh, is there a tournament on?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's disappointing. It's fun for the guys who win, and I get it. And I'm sure, they're PGA Tour winners, and it's awesome. But I'd like to know what the attendance was. I'd like to know what the ratings were, and are we going down the right?
So what would you propose? If you've been invited by Brian Rolap to sit down at the conference room table there in Ponte Vedra. Gosh, I can't even talk today.
Ponte Vedra.
Yes.
And I'm the one. And I'm the one drinking.
And you're the one drinking. You're invited to the boardroom down there, and you've got a meeting. And Brian Rolap asks you, "What would you do, Mick?"
I don't think the fall series needs to happen. I think there needs to be more money involved in the Corn Ferry Tour, and I think that when you earn your way on, you should be allowed to play, and that's it. And if as I said, the top 20 is the Corn Ferry. You should be allowed to play. All 20 should be allowed to play in some of these events and all these tournaments and stuff like that, because they've earned their right to play. And I think that's it. And I think you have to get to a point where you're like, okay, are we just protecting the best players in the world right now? Are we not giving these other guys a chance? I mean, back in the day, I said Zach Johnson. I mean, he's a two-time major winner. Zach Johnson Monday qualified to get into a Web.com event, nationwide tour event at the time, ended up winning the event, and then went on to do great things. But if he doesn't win that, I mean, how do you get a chance?
Right.
I mean, the chances now they're getting harder and harder and harder and harder to play. It's tough, because I mean, you said you get these events where it's just like, all right, we've got 50 players, and the top 50 are going to play, and we're going to give you more money because, great, we're going to give you more money.
Yeah, and I mean,
the average golf fan doesn't care whether it's a $20 million event or a $30 million event, because they don't care. They just want to watch good golf.
Right.
They're not interested in, okay, oh, well, that's awesome. He got a $10 million check because he just won. Well, that's great. The guy who's sitting at home who, works in a factory, who's busting his butt, who loves to watch golf, goes, well, that's kind of cool. He just won $10 million, and I'll go work for $17 an hour again. I don't think it sends the great message. It's like everybody should have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think when you say
the majors are the ones where you go, okay, you earn your right to play in the majors.
You've earned the right.
You get that. But how do these kids earn their right to get in the majors if they can't get a chance to play?
Well, you can't. I mean, that goes back to this shrinking of field sizes, and
yep.
And the signature events have become tougher to get into. It's just they're making it such an. It's almost back to our comment about Brandel Chambly. It's the stuffy country club group.
And don't get me started on the Champions Tour, because they don't even have a Q school anymore.
They took that away.
But we'll save that for another podcast.
I was going to say, let's save that one. We still got to get into this week's tournament in Japan.
Nicholas Højgaard will win that too, by the way.
Who?
Højgaard.
Højgaard
will win in Japan.
You have a Højgaard winning in Japan this week.
In fact, I do.
I'm looking at some of Ludwig's teeing it up. A fellow Aussie, Aaron Baddeley, teeing it up this week.
Bad. Good Geelong supporter. He's probably sad. His team just lost the Australian Super Bowl, so he's probably a little sad.
No. We've got Akshay Christian Bezuidenhout.
He played okay last week too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Akshay, Christian?
Yeah, I think he finished 6th or 7th last week.
Yeah, hang on. I got it up. T6. Yeah, 17 under.
Hey, who's doing research now, my friend?
Look at you. Look at you.
You're doing research.
You're
here in
doing some
Ackworth, Georgia.
research. Your boy Matt
Hey.
Kuchar had a hole in one.
Yeah, well, I guarantee he didn't buy drinks for anybody.
Oh boy.
Cheap, 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 cheap.
Wesley Bryan is getting a chance to tee it up.
Wesley Bryan.
Sam Burnsies, Patrick Cantlay, Xander's in the field, Luke Clanton's
Yeah, he's like the only one. Don't worry, Nick Højgaard wins. That's it.
Højgaard
Marcel,
wins.
I'm going to come out on a limb here. Marcel Siem will win the Spanish Open.
Marcel
Siem will win the Spanish Open.
Okay.
Out of nowhere. Little older gentleman, good player, very good.
Look at you throwing out some tips for our gambling folks out there.
Yeah, actually, that would be a very good bet. Top 10 if you just have a little look there.
T10.
T10. Have a little look at that. No worries.
I like that. Our LPGA ladies. Now, interesting. They are they're in Shanghai for the Buick LPGA. Ready for this?
Which course they playing?
Quzhong Garden.
Yeah, I haven't been there. I have been to Shanghai. I've caddied in Shanghai. I've caddied in Beijing. I've caddied a couple. I've actually caddied 3 times in China.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Those courses are very tight.
No.
No, they're open.
They're a little open. Yeah, they're usually pretty wide open. Yeah.
Okay. I thought I had heard that they are more tight because there's not a lot of land.
The course they're playing right now might be wide open, but the ones I've been to over there are usually pretty wide open.
According to
usually a lot of water, a lot of hazards, but pretty wide open.
It's according to what I'm looking at. It's a pretty good looking golf club. Little shot shaping, if you ask me. Fits your left or right. Okay. Out of the group, though, are you ready for this?
Yep.
Out of the 26 winners so far on the LPGA Tour, out of the 25 events, 10 of the 25 or 26 are teeing it up. So I think the streak goes to 26. Do we make it to the end of the season?
No.
Does Nelly Korda get a win?
See, I want to say yes because no, she doesn't. I want to say yes, but no, she doesn't.
You want to say yes, but you are saying no.
I'm saying no.
Okay. Well, that's all we've got, buddy.
No, it's not.
What else?
I have to come up with something. I just want to tell you about a place that I went to this week in Ackworth, Georgia. And I did tell you I was going to mention this.
Oh, yes, you did tell me about this.
And this place absolutely thrilled me to death. Obviously, I live here in Ackworth, Georgia, but there's a indoor golf facility in Ackworth, Georgia now on Main Street. I'm going to give you it's 4731 Main Street, Ackworth, Georgia, called Four Seasons. And I can tell you one thing about this place. And I'm not getting any kickbacks, not doing anything. I just want to do this because Natalie, who is the general manager there, she's a wonderful woman. I've known her for 16 years. They opened this place, and I am not a huge fan of indoor simulated golf by any stretch of the imagination because I've never felt comfortable. I've always felt claustrophobic. I just, like when you try to swing a driver indoors, it just doesn't feel good. Let me tell you about this place. And I'm telling you, I can't wait to take you there because this place for an indoor golf facility is magnificent. And are you looking it up right now?
I am looking it up right now.
It is magnificent. It is beyond probably the best indoor facility I've ever been to. Now, I've been around a golf a long time. And again, I said I'm not getting any kickbacks for this, but I was really blown away by this. It was it felt like you could actually swing a driver and not be inhibited by anything. And the graphics are ridiculous. Ridiculous. They've got 400 courses. It's just a really, really nice setup. It's in Ackworth, Georgia. Really?
Yeah.
But it's an amazing setup, and I honestly would suggest you get to go down there and have a look at it, because it really is something special. And I was blown away when I walked in. The first time I walked in and I looked and I went left, and there was like three bays there, and I looked at the first, and these guys were playing Bethpage Black, obviously, like after the Ryder Cup, and I'm looking and I'm like, how good are the graphics on this thing? And then I looked at the swing room and I was like, I could do this. I could actually play golf in this and go, yeah, this is cool. And I'm telling you, if you want to go check it out, please do. And I will take you down there and check it out, because it's a spot. I was very, very impressed, because I've been to a lot of places where you hit balls indoors, like superstores and things like that, and it just doesn't. I can't do it. It's nerve wracking. I always feel like I'm gonna swing up and hit something. This place, no. I'm very, very impressed. And and I said she's a very good friend of mine. But I went and checked it out, and it was I'm going to take you there, and we're going to have a good time there. We may even have a couple.
Well, well, you know me. I haven't met a menu that I haven't liked. They got some good looking food over here.
It's just they got like snack. They don't have a full kitchen. They just got like snacks. No, they got some good snacks and good nibbles and stuff. But I mean, you talk about a setup with like lounges and stuff like that, and obviously obviously in Georgia when winter comes around, what a great place it's going to be, and it's cheap. It's not expensive, but yeah, I'm telling you, it's I'm very, very impressed.
But they've got I like what they've done here. Charcuterie boards. So they've got some of that. They've got small bites.
And all the employees walk around wearing caddy bibs too. So I think that was kind of cool as well. So,
yeah, now I know why you really like it.
That was kind of cool.
There's always a nod back to that caddy bib.
Very impressed.
By the way,
and looking forward to winter when I can do it. Speaking of caddying, yes.
You brought up a story while we were out and about this past week.
Yeah, I made a comeback. I made a comeback on Sunday.
You made a comeback on Sunday.
I did.
What did you do?
I caddied for my partner, Greg Elliott, my golf partner, who, as you know, we're 7-0 together. And he was playing in the Senior Club Championship. He had a very rough Saturday. He got off to a rough start, and so I went and caddied for him on Sunday. And we didn't have a great day, but we improved, I think, 14 shots from Saturday, so we didn't have a great day. But
hold on a second. You improved by 14 shots. Is that because you did 14 shots, or that?
I only did 2 on the golf course.
Lowered his score by 14 shots.
It was actually funny because after 8 holes, he was only, I think, 2 or 3 over after 8 holes, and I hadn't had a beer. And he goes, "If my caddy's not going to drink with me, you're going to get fired." And then he went 8, 7, 6. Once I started drinking. So.
Well, now we know where the problem lied.
Yes. Not that, but I actually spoke to you during the week about this. It's actually harder to caddy for amateurs than it is professionals.
Please enlighten us why.
Because professionals, when they miss shots, they don't miss by a lot. Normally. Now, I've caddied for some wide ones and stuff like that, but when you're like hitting a shot into a green, if they miss, it's just a little bit. Greg likes to hit a little low cut. He loves hitting his 5-wood. He hits his little low cut in there. And I'll give you a little. Well, let's just go to the 18th hole. He's got, I don't know how many, I can't remember how far it was, but he's like, I'm going to hit this cut 5-wood in there. And I was like, yeah, cut 5-wood's perfect, but you have to cut it. You have to make sure this cuts, because if you use the other club, he comes up short, he's going to roll back into the water. So I'm like, okay, this is good.
And by the way, hold on. 18th is a par 4. It's a shorter par 4, but it is the front of the green is surrounded by water.
Yes, and it's completely shaved.
And it comes down.
Yeah, like if you land just short of the green, it's completely
it spins down.
It's gonna roll back into the water.
It spins down the hill.
So of course I'm just like, all right, just. Let's hit the cut in there and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I could hit the other one. I'm like, well, if you hit the other one, it comes up short, we're dead, blah, blah, blah. So he takes this 5-wood and he smokes it. And it does not cut 1 inch. It goes through the wind, it goes there, and it goes 20 yards past the green, and he's on a downhill slope like this. And now he's got a downhill chip across a very fast green, and if he hits too hard, it's going to roll back down into the water, which is a yellow hazard, not a red hazard, which means he'd have to go back to the other side. Yeah, it was a rough finish. But
And
yeah, it's hard to caddy for guys when they do that, and you're just like, well, there was no cut there. It just went dead straight. But I know the feeling.
Well, yeah, it was. I will say this: it was a lot of fun to be out there with you. I'm glad you were be able to get out. Rest that knee, sir.
Yeah, my knee is actually bad. It popped on the 15th hole last week, it didn't matter because the game was already over. But it's a little tender at the minute. But I'll ice it with some Budweisers and some Jameson, and we'll be good to go.
There you go. All right. Well, anything else that you want to share?
No, that's it. We're good. We've crushed it.
We have had quite a week. Thanks for teeing up with us on Tales from the Tips. If you're catching us on YouTube, make sure you give us a like. Hit that subscribe button. Especially if you're going to leave us a comment, make sure you at least subscribe to us. We love to hear from you. Drop us a comment. You can find every episode of Tales from the Tips wherever you find your favorite podcast. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, the Odyssey app, and now available on iHeart Podcasts. Just search under podcast for Tales from the Tips. Mick, you can find us on all the socials. What are you holding up now?
I had notes.
He had notes! You can find us on our socials, Instagram, X, and Mick's favorite,
TikTok.
You can watch this debacle happen live on the Twitch, as you can see right here. Hopefully we've got 8 people watching this nonsense. Oh, now who? What are you doing today?
That was the bottle that was holding up my phone.
That's fantastic.
There's 8 people watching on Twitch.
There's 8 people watching on the Twitch right now. So
leave me a comment. I want to have a look.
There you go. So leave your drive straight, your putt short, and your scores low as we tee it up on Tales from the Tips. We'll see you next time.